Today we are going to find out what my handicap will be. I'm here on the Asia course at the stunning La Cala Golf Resort. We're going to head out there. It's 6,300 yards, the Asia course. It's a par 72, but don't let that fool you because it has a slope of 140. It's the hardest rated course here at La Cala. I've played rounds 1 and 2 on the America and the Europa course, but this is the third one we need for my handicap. I'm trending in the right direction. Can we get it done? Let's head down to the first tee and do battle. So here we go, first hole. It's a par 4 up the hill, 340 yards it is playing. A lot of undulation on these fairways. It's not about just smashing driver, it's about placing your ball in the right portion of the fairway. If I hit this left, it'll fall down and you're dead as well. You can put it up right and it comes back anyway. So got to be quite tactical off the tee today to allow me to go into the greens, which are very small as well, so that's why this course has that high slope rating. But let's get going, let's get the 3-wood up there. Wish me well. Thanks for that beep. You ain't fooling me though. 90 yards to the flag. It is playing uphill by about 5 yards, so 90, want to hit it almost about a 110 shot, so I think just a full gap wedge. There's a lot, especially around this golf course, if you ever come to La Cala, a lot of your shots you're hitting up, a lot of the shots hitting down, so don't just take the number for what it is. You've got to equate that up and down factor into it, and especially on the up ones, be playing beyond a lot of the flags, play to middle to back. It will catch you out otherwise. So I'm gonna 90 yards, I'm gonna try and hit this as my 105 shot. Please be the number. Well, it looked good. It looked close. Could be a good start, this. I'm liking getting this handicap. It's giving me that drive. Giving me a little bit of that nervous excitement that I used to have as an amateur. Oh, that didn't work out well for me, did it? Sorry everyone at La Cala, we'll try and retrieve some of it. Well, safely aboard the green, I've hit to that middle portion there, and that's sort of the perfect example of what I was talking about. If you're just shy of that pin, you know, slightly try and hit it to the exact number and catch it a little bit heavy, you're down that slope and you've got a 50-60 yard pitch, as where yes, I've got a bit of a slick put down the hill now, but at least I'm up and I'm on, and I would say that's probably my strategy goal for today, is to try and just play to the middle of every green. Don't get suckered in because they're very narrow, they're very small, so just give myself the biggest possible target when I'm aiming into greens today. Little benefit, there is the morning dew on the greens, so they're not going to be as slick if I was putting this at midday. Fantastic lag. Thought that was going to move with the way of the land. Only broke a tiny bit, but always nice to get a little par under the belt to start off with. So the second hole here, it's actually only 290 yards, but don't let that fool you. It's downhill to the fairway, then you play very much uphill to the green, and you've got to get that accuracy in terms of the distance when going in. So just a 4-iron down to the fairway leaves me hopefully something like gap wedging like the last hole, if we can do that. Don't need to be trying to knock it on and just cut it, put it in the trees. All of a sudden you can ruin your round early doors being too greedy. That's where I can still make birdies with gap wedges in hand. That was diggy. That was very diggy. Stay. Just a little steep on that one. That's been my problem this week, but we're safe. We've managed it. We're okay. So we've got the first hole under our belt there, and definitely there is a nervous excitement. I'm sort of really excited to see what I end up coming out with as my handicap. I'm on track for roundabout scratch, and definitely these couple of rounds that we've played, knowing that I'm working towards something normally, and in the red we're just trying to break par, and it's, oh well, you didn't do it, or you did do it as well. Here it's well, what actually is your handicap, and giving me a real goal to work towards, and making me think about the game a little bit differently instead of just being gung-ho and plotting it and thinking more and more about what I need to do. So very excited for today's round. We've clung onto the fairway there, so let's get these first few holes under the belt and then see what we can do, build a score. Got a similar scenario to the first hole. The flag's actually at 105 this time. That was the number I was trying to hit last time, but we've got to take into account that uphillness. It looks quite close to the front, sort of edging towards middle. So I think here I'm going to go pitching wedge and just hit a 3/4 one. Same shot as the last hole, just one club more. Got to err a little bit right of the flag. It will kick in left if I miss it as well, but I just need to get this number right. Should be good, maybe a tad long, but I feel like it had a lot of spin on that shot. Nipped it lovely. Right, pitch pretty level, and there was a little dew mark where it's got up the hill and then come back down. We've got the best part of 7 feet here, little bit right to left. Let's see if we can knock this one in. Oh yes, yes, we will take it, folks. We've got a little Brucey bonus birdie there by playing strategically instead of just smashing driver, because I could reach. That's what we want. Build a score. It's like Betfred, but we build a score. Well, the third hole here, you're pretty much at the highest point, nearly on the resort up here. You can see absolutely everything, the hotel just down over there. See across to all the other golf courses, Europa, America's out that way. But we have got a par 3 that is playing 150 yards down the hill to a slither of green. It's almost like a little heart shape turned on its side, this. Pin's actually in quite a generous location, it's almost middle. 150 is playing 125 down the hill. So, similar shot to as I hit on the last actually, we'll do here. Just a good, solid pitching wedge. Doesn't need to be a full one. Could be in. It's 10 foot just underneath the hole. Didn't quite catch it, but I thought it was going to be enough. It was cut into the flag the whole time. It's pitched and spun back a little bit there, but another chance up the hill. Taking this, I'm loving it. Well, not quite 10 feet, maybe 12, but it pitched here and got up and it zipped back ever so slightly. Perfect line, just hit it with the head cover on apparently. That was a very good chance there, and pretty poor putt. Just that little bit of dew just making him slower. But hey, 3 holes in, going nicely. Just keep building, keep giving myself chances. So the 4th hole's a par 4. A lot of ground to cover when you're off the back tees. Forward set not so much, but it's 227 to actually get it up to the cart path, and then 230 up onto the fairway. I'm going to go with the 3 wood just because it narrows up and there is a bunker around about 295 up there. Again, it's one that you can favour up the right and it should run back in. The hole itself is actually only 375, so if you do get around the pole in the middle of the fairway, you're only going to have that flick in. So good one of these, just like the first, and we're golden. Oh no. I heard a few trees being clipped. It does open out, so I don't know, but I'll hit a provisional. Just pushed it slightly, I was scared of the left there. Right, slightly different tactic. Get the big dog out and just try and cut it more into the middle. It's always easier the second time around. Bounced in the fairway, I don't know if it's got that trap. Was heading to the back right corner of it. We'll see. Well, it wasn't to be, wasn't to be, wasn't to be. Actually mentioned in, that's probably one of the hardest tee shots you face. I think it was round one, I got one confused. There's a par 5 later on the 16th, which I would say is a little bit easier than that, but is still brutal. Fairway found with the second ball, so trying up and down this now. And we only have 76 yards. So it's just a good gap wedge, little swing, shoulder to shoulder, make something happen. Get out of here with a 5, I feel like we've escaped. A little bit on the cautious side there. It'll do though, it'll do. It's one of those where I thought left was actually so bad, when realistically it's not that bad. That driver was the perfect shot. You live and learn though, folks, you live and learn. Take a 2-putt and get out of here. Stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up, stay up! No! Thought we'd had a miracle 5 then. Well, it's a double. Every round seems to have one. Well, bar yesterday's, didn't have any doubles yesterday. If you haven't seen round 2 of this series, go and check that out as well. We've got 1 and 2 out on the channel now. But getting a little bit score orientated in my mind here. I just need to get back to thinking about the process. It's 520 yards from up here, the 5th, the par 5 going down and snaking right to left around the corner. Bunkers at 262, 278 and another one at 287. They're mainly down, well, they are down the right hand side, so aim down the middle and just a little cut. Same shot as the last with the driver. A little bit more fade than I wanted, but should be okay. Pitched on the fairway and just run into the semi. We're all right. The flag is at 230 yards. The front's actually only 200 yards. So with it being downhill and I don't want to fly it all the way, I'm just going to go 5 iron, and if it runs up, fantastic. If I flush it, I'll land middle of the green, and if not, we've got a little chip up. Tactical, Matthew. It's crazy here with these mountain views and you look like you're playing back into the clouds. It's cool. There is water left of the green, so I'm just going to aim in between the flag and the bunker. Hit it up the right side. Hold your line. Didn't quite strike it, so it should just be short left of the green. Ended up towing it, but it's safe, we're okay. Well, it went to plan that, didn't quite catch it, and I've pretty much level with the front of the green. Got a little pitch up now, 52, run it up, try and sneak a shot back here. It'll want to go right if anything. It's just getting the strike out of this tangly grass. Don't overcomplicate it is the plan. I actually landed that exactly where I wanted to. I thought that was going to run a heck of a lot there out of the wet grass. Thought it was going to be a bit skid, but underestimated that. Should have maybe played it a little bit flatter. Que sera. Very uncharacteristic around the green for me. Well, I would have liked to have had a better go for birdie after that tee shot, but just the chip let me down there. Just popped out high. I thought it was going to be a runner, but que sera, we move on, we're okay. We're doing a lot of good stuff, just got to keep it going. So our 6th hole's a par 4 that's playing 360 yards, dogleg right to left, slightly uphill all the way. You want to aim at the bunker on the left side of the fairway and peel it back in from there. Is there anyone in that? There's no one in it. The greenkeeper's up there and it's on a remote thing. That's incredible. Right, I can hit now because I'm not going to hurt anyone. He's watching it. That is insane. That's mad. Fairway found again. So I had a little weird dive, a little bit of water on that ball then that I didn't clean from the putt. 118, you have got that on video, haven't you?
Yeah,
you got him controlling it back. Look at this, incredible stuff. I'm transfixed. 118, Matt, come on, focus. 118, that's brilliant. Right, 118, pins in a sort of, it's a weird green, it's just like a triangle, and the narrow part's at the front, so I've just got to get it by, it's uphill by about 6 or 7, so very much a similar shot that we faced earlier in the round. Go! Not sure if it was enough, got a little bit diggy again on that, it's been my miss all week. I think it might have had, oh yeah, it's up on the green. We're okay, but a little bit of apprehension over that one. Got away with it though. A lucky one there. I thought the flag was in this front portion and I was actually aiming at it, intentionally trying to hit a fade, and I pulled it. It's actually worked out quite well for me, so sometimes you just need a little bit of luck. Tricky putt down the slope now though, but nothing's tricky for this blade. Just didn't give it the hit. It was simple though. Those tapping pars are always nice when you have a little hiccup along the way. I feel like we've got the hardest bit of this golf course out of the way now. This sort of bit round the opposite side of the hotel seems to have the most undulation and the most sort of threading it through gaps. When you get onto the back nine, it gets a little bit more open. The 7th hole's a par 3, 145 yards to the flag today, up the hill. Pin looks like it's left, so we're just going to go a little bit right of it, see what we can do. It's a terrible strike, but it's at the flag. It's worked. It's worked. Could be close, that little thin. Irons have not been my strong point this 3 rounds that we've played, but luckily I'm getting away with quite a bit. Green found, which is all we want. Middle of the green. Uphill left to right. It's about 25 feet. This would be a real bonus if we snuck this in. A little bit, I can see now there's a bit of, actually as I've walked up here, it looks like, well, not even then. Woo! The old LeBron tried keeping us out then, and then at the basket, tried knocking us back, but it's a par 3. We're doing okay. We've just got to tick along for these next 2. Very much similar to what we did in rounds 2 and 3, so a little bit of a better back 9 compared to those last 2, and we're on the money. So our 8th hole's 440 yards, a par 4 that goes up the hill, then it drops down to the green. Bunkers at 270 and 280 to get by, so driving it nicely. Just going to cut one up the left and let it land in the fairway. Just cutting a little bit too much. It's going to be on the right side of the fairway. Yeah, just a bit too much tees, a little bit below the feet there, but it's safe, we're good. So a little bit too much curve on that one resulted in me having quite a way in here, 200 yards to the flag down the hill. I'm going to go 5-iron because that'll allow me to get at least to the flag and beyond it. But it's a good strike with this, and middle of the green here, the pin's very close to the right hand side. So just pick my spot, commit, and let it fly. Just left of the flag. Well short in it. Didn't quite strike it. Right, well, we weren't a million miles away, just pitched and trickled, but we leave ourselves a little chip up onto the green now. This is where I need my basic chip, just land it just on and let it run out. Nothing fancy, Matt, just a pretty Standard little chip. Some grooves that actually could help. One thing a lot of amateurs don't do this, get some grooves on show. That had a lot of mud from a previous shot. I'm not going to be able to control my spin if I don't do that. It's well executed, it's well executed. A little 4, we'll take that after a 5-iron into the green. Would have been brilliant if it carried a couple more yards. I would have had a very nice look at birdie, but 4s are good, 4s are good. So the 9th here, great par 5, the other tee's about 50 yards down in front, and you wouldn't be able to hit driver from off there because at about 300 it just drops from down on that tee. But here I can hit it up in the corner, let it cut a bit, and it should just sit pretty in the middle of the fairway. Oh, I overswung there and pulled it. Sit. It's actually not too bad. Tried saving it last minute. It'll do, it'll do. Well, just up in the hill here, it's 250. If I was maybe down into the end of the fairway there, I'd think about hitting my 3-wood. Just that pull's just stopped me from doing that, but I'm gonna get 4-iron. It's 250 to the flag. If I can get this up 220-ish out of this rough, I'm predicting a little bit of a flyer. I think it'll leave me with a pretty nice pitch. I've just got to go over the corner of this tree and let it work back. How's that drawn off that lie? It's going to be a little bit left side of the fairway maybe. Was tricky out of that stuff. That is juicy. Not a bad result in the end. It's worked its way around. If we can roll this in, that would be a nice little Brucey bonus. Don't feel like we've held anything other than the second hole. Greens are great, so I should be doing a bit better. Just need to hit it a bit closer. Oh, that looked so good for so long. Right over the edge. Well, it's a par. It's a par. Keep giving yourself those chances, Matt. That's what it's all about. 1 over front 9. Not the best, not the worst. Workable. Well, 9 holes in, 1 over par, and just looking at the handicap calculator, I know you should take each shot at a time, but roughly at the moment, if we just doubled the back 9 and did the same, I would be looking at a handicap, given my 3 rounds here at the Cala, of plus 0.4, which I don't think is too wild, to be honest with you. I think that's round about where we need to be. The 10th hole is a par 5 that is playing 530 yards straight up the hill. Playing around about 570, 580 maybe off this back tee with the elevation change. Bunker to carry at 280 is the last one of the ones down the left hand side. Good drive, who knows, we might, there's a little bit of a speed slot before you go up to the green, so get this away, see what happens. Let's give it a good smack, Matthew. Well, we're not hitting much better than that. It'll kick left slightly. Should be A1. The Spanish sun suits my driving. It's probably the best driving performance I've had in years. Right, we've got 246 to the back of the green. We've got 220 to the front. I'm going 3-wood just to try and get it all the way up there. Quite open, this one. The way it sort of shapes up the hill makes you think it isn't, but actually when you know that from the wall to the trees on the other side is 65 to 70 yards, it's a fair old size. So just to the left side of the green, little cut, see if we can maybe get this chasing on the front. anything. It was on that mud on the right. We good?
Is this a ball?
Oh yeah, there she is. Well, just went a little bit right, that. Ball was below my feet, but hey, we're okay. It was a tricky shot that off the down slope, high caliber. Let's go and carry on. Well, we were right. The ball's just here. It's pitched and stopped right where it is. Little lob wedge over here now, just land it on the green and let it trickle out. Well, I almost played that too well, just got right underneath it, held it, proper slid it. I thought it was gonna just grab a little bit, but happy with that result. Come on, Matthew, let's finally take advantage. I thought I was gonna move then, it stayed pretty straight, but it's a birdie. It's a birdie. We've been waiting for a few of those. We've been getting closer. We've been doing all the right things. And do you know what's the biggest difference here? And hopefully it's coming across. My attitude's a lot better. Very positive over these 3 rounds. Amazing what a bit of sun will do for you. And a good golf course. A few cruise campos and a bit of tapas. This has to be one of my favourite points on the golf course here at La Cala. You're literally 360 view. You've got the coast down here, sweeps back, the mountain range all around. The cloud looks incredible today. You spin round, you've got the actual hotel there looking down. Golf course is right, golf course is left. A lot of construction going on at the moment because it's becoming very popular, and they were even saying to us yesterday when we met Robert, the golf director, they're actually struggling to keep up with the demand of what's being built here. It's selling that quickly, which is impressive. Can't wait till mine's finished. Just let me know, La Cala, and I'll gladly take it off your hands. But this 12th hole, par 3, 11th hole, sorry, par 3 down the hill. It's 170 to the flag today, 165 to the front. It's downhill somewhat. I've got an 8 iron. It's playing about 20 down, so I'm in between, but I'm just going to hit this 3/4 off the middle because I've got room beyond it as well, so this at least can get to the hole and go in for one of the best hole-in-ones ever. Centre of the green. Well, it's perfectly pin high, just a little pull. Right, we're going to be going up this little tier and it flattens out. Not much really going on, it's more about getting the pace right on this putt. It looked very good for a long time. It looked very good for a long time. It's a simple 3 and what is not a simple hole with that clubbing you have to figure out. Right, on to the next. So the 12th hole, up and over, you can see the flag in the distance. What you can't see is some water that is right in front of the green that starts at 330, so we're good enough to hit driver. It won't get there. Some bunkers up the left as well. Everything falls back down to the middle of the fairway. You want to favour the right if anything, but at the flag, little cut, and then we'll flick it across. That should kick left now. Yep, there we go. A little bit steery, but should be back on the fairway, which is nice. The first sort of level shot you'll face here off if you find this part of the fairway, flat fairway, no real elevation change here, maybe a yard, but instead of having elevation, they stuck water in front of this one. 98 yards to the flag. It's 80 to cover the water, so not a real issue. Just a 3/4 gap wedge dead at it. Maybe slightly right of it because the ball's a bit above my feet. Let's see if we can make the most of this. Right, we're dancing and we're close. We're about 10 feet. Well, we got the distance spot on for the carry. Just run on a little bit. But we've got a very good look for a birdie here. It'd be lovely just to steal this. About a ball out the left and just let it drop in. I've not hit it. Didn't hit it hard enough to stay on that line. It's another stress-free par. We keep going. Could do with just making a few more of those opportunities coming in. Bunkers to avoid are only 215, and they start at the green side at 340. The hole's 370. So I think it's just another driver down the left, down the tree line. It's safe down there, and let it come back in. Just a little steery, but it's fairway again. That's what I've done a lot better this week. When I've not quite got the driver, it's still been in play a lot of the time on the fairway or just off it, as where previously I was had too much movement on it. I actually changed my setting to having the driver slightly upright. It seems to just change the strike location to the toe if I miss it, rather than the heel, and I'm keeping it a bit straighter. Just teed off on 13 now, and this is the point where I need to focus a little bit, and I think this is where a lot of amateurs will be going wrong. You'll be looking at what your score is maybe at this point, and you'll start counting, well, if I have 4 more pars, 1 more bogey and another par to finish, that means I shoot this and I maybe break 90 or I break 80, whatever it is. But cliche, isn't it? One shot at a time, and I think I've maybe just doing it on the last few, just thinking, okay, this is good, this is looking like level, so I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, but I've got to just get a little bit more back in the zone and think of that, right, what's going to be a good shot here now? What do I need to do to make this a good shot, as opposed to, well, just make par here and it'll be all right. So we found the fairway. We've got a good stretch of holes coming in. If we can go and hit a great wedge shot now, we're cooking. Fairway found, 98 yards left. The pin's front right here, the green's back to front. It's the same shot as I had last time. It looks like you're going down to go up, but actually where we are pretty level to it. So exactly the same shot. And hopefully hold the putt this time, but let's concentrate on this one. Pulled the knackers off it. It's on the green, got an uphill putt, but just getting a little bit long over these shots. Need to get a bit of a clearer image. I'm going to do this, bang and go. Right, bit further away than we wanted, bit pulley, but it's a chance, it's a chance. We've holed putts longer than this, and the greens are that good. I get the right line, it's in. Up the hill, left to right, about a ball and a half. Come on, let's make a name for yourself. I know it's gone by a little bit, I gave it a bit too much, but about 2 feet in, out, that looked nothing but in the middle. That's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. Happy though, I gave it a go. I gave it a go. Pushed it. Ah, that's frustrating. The wedge shot should have been closer, and then was a very bold putt, but I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking. It's a shame to have a bogey like that from 100, but what could have been, eh? On to the next. We can make it back. There's plenty of golf to be played. Well, a disappointing little hole there, but good news is got a potentially drivable par 4 if I hit an absolute stonker. It's 305 to the front of the green, 315 to the middle, downhill as well a little bit. Don't think I'll get there, but if I give it everything, it's wide open. Who knows? Hopefully we've just got a little chip and a tap in to claim it back. Well, I've hit it decent. About 20 short, maybe 15 short. Straight down there though, we've done part one of hopefully a 3-part project. It's 35 yards to the flag. Commit to this. Commit. Good shot. Stiff, if not hole it. Well, we'll take that. It's a very good chance for the old bird. Good shot from a tricky situation. Ball above the feet, slightly sloped out, was hard. It was a delicate little one and a sort of roughish lie. Happy with what we've put on now. Just need to hold this straight in. Come on. Better stroke. You've picked your line, be positive. That's what we needed. We needed to bounce back after that little catastrophe on the last. Happy with that. Great drive, great wedge, great putt. Life's great. The 15th hole here is 370 yards. It drops significantly down, this one. It's a very tight tee shot because you're up against the wall here almost. But 4-iron's all that's required with a bit of draw, and it should run down quite a bit, so nothing overcomplicated, just little turn, job's good. Straight down the middle. Lovely little draw. What a golf shot. 133 yards. It is playing slightly downhill, and also this ball will want to go a little bit left because the land is very much this way. There's room left of the flag, so I'm going to just aim a tiny bit left of it and try and keep it in there. Oh, I've towed it. Cut. It's on the green. Bit disappointed with that. Just got it slightly out of the toe and it's turned it, with obviously the ball being above the feet, but you know, it's a putt. Hitting a lot more greens and a lot better iron shots than I have the previous 2 holes. The strike's getting a lot less fat. Just need to get the direction dialed in now. Shame it's the last round. Right, this green looks a little bit drier than the rest. Looks a bit longer. We've got an uphiller. Let's not get too frisky with it like we did previously, but if it goes in, great. Cozy it up. Just get pace right on this one because there's not much happening with the line. It's pretty straight. Break. Oh, I've done it again. That looked, actually has run quicker than the rest and it looked slower. Ooh, looked like it was going to go in as well, which is annoying. Well, dead centre. We'll take that. It was a little bit of a risky moment then, was feeling a little bit nervy. It means something to me, this, which is great to have that really playing for something, and actually I want obviously to get my handicap as low as possible, which was what I felt when I was an amateur. I was always striving to get it low and low, and it was a big focus, and even these 3 rounds have sort of ignited that old drive that we used to have. All right, par 5 next with an incredible tee shot. Wait till you see this. So you might be smacking your lips when you look at the card for the 16th hole thinking par 5, 440 yards. This is what you're faced with. The fairway is about, I think it's 23 yards wide at its widest point, which is about 180 off the tee. It then gets progressively narrower and it runs from right to left. If you miss it right, it's just a drop off to the ravine, which is just over there. People have been lost down there, I believe. It's not one with driver. There's a bunker at 280. I'm hitting 4-iron just down the path line, little cut, try and bring it back in. It's a tricky one, but if you get the fairway at around about 220, you've got only 200-ish, 220 to the front. So 4-iron, nothing outrageous, and just put it in play. I couldn't have steered that anymore. I think my swing speed went down to about 80 miles an hour. We're on the hill. but we're okay. Wasn't the ideal result, and I've now got to go over the corner of the trees just with a pitching wedge to get it back in play and try and make a birdie the conventional way. I think in summer that would have potentially bounced and found there and I would have been spot on, but poor swing anyway. Hit this one 25 on 30 on that line and we're good. Should be middle of the fairway that. I think putting jumper on was the worst choice. I felt a little chill as the cloud covered the sun and now I'm roasting again. Take that off, 100 yards again, I keep leaving it. Let's make this the time we hit a great shot. It is downhill. Pins, gosh, 2 paces, 3 paces at best on. 102, play a 105. Little cutty one to try and stop that pull. Don't fade too much. Not too bad, was definitely not leaving it short. Chances, probably plays a bit more downhill than you think that. But, good strike, committed. We're getting there. Right, same as the last hole, left to right, just barely. Pretty much the same length. Be more reactive to your last putt, Matt. That green was tremendously slower as well. And it looks quicker. Right, come on, solidarity. Got 2 3 putts on the back 9. That ball doesn't obviously like the hole. I'm over par again on this 9. 2 3 putts, absolute stinker. Frustrating little 3 drizzle there, but let it go. Trying to make up with the gap wedge, that was the issue, how far away I'm hitting this thing. 100 yards this 17th. If you don't get it to the flag though, it spins all the way back down, so play again as 105. Try and hit a better shot. Come on, holding one would do. Fatted it. That was a complete swing thought change then. Awesome, falling right at the last hurdle. Clear head, what are you doing? We now have this little slippery tester for our 4. My first one had no thoughts. I was thinking about what I'd done on that wedge. Head was just gone, and then that second one not too bad, just skidded more, but I've got a tricky little 4-footer here now, which isn't good. Stay up, no. Stay. Awesome. See, even the chip then, I should have thought about leaving it below the hole to have a run, but now I'm staring triple here from absolutely nowhere. At least we held it, because that would have been a lot of snapped golf clubs, I feel. Oh, that's such a shame to fall at the 17th to make double there. I go to, I think, about 3 over par for the round. I was level for the back 9 up until then. Just those 2 really bad 3 putts. Everything else has been pretty decent. Could do with a birdie here to make something of a mediocre round. 18th hole. Sour taste, but let's finish in style, birdie this, and we'll be okay. The bunker up on the right is 275 to the end of it, so just going to go at that with a little cut, leave myself a wedge in and see what damage we can do there. Oh, pulled the absolute life out of it. Cover that trap. Stay short of that trap. Falling at the last hurdle, folks. Falling. 147 the flag. Playing uphill quite a bit. Off an upslope as well. I was thinking 9, but because of the upslopeness, I'm going to hit an 8, just a little cutty 8 at the middle of the green. Stick it in close, knock it in, because we've held nothing all day. I'm going to make it happen here. One good swing, Matt, come on. Treble. Just sort of lost that. It sounded like it hit the green. Hopefully it did, because I can't take bogey in this. I'd be really deflated if that happened. I thought I was over. Should have given that 8 iron a bit more. Come on, up and down, come on. Up and down worst. I just didn't commit going through it. The wheels have fallen off at the last hurdle. We've got a chance, come on. Keep the positivity up. Hold this, we're okay. I don't have to cry in my room or on the flight home. Let's hold it. Let's hold it, Matt. Just hold it. Why don't you hold it? Okay, we'll hold it. Oh, I jumped right. That is a sour ending. That is a very sour ending. Right, let's see what the handicap is going to be. Moment of truth. Well, a sour little ending to our time here at La Cala. Double bogey and then a bogey to finish means that I actually totaled up to 76. It was looking like it was going to be a 72 for a long time there, but having a look at that, if we calculate those in and put them into our app here, good news and bad news, it's plus 0.2, so pretty much scratch, which is where I would maybe say my golf is. I don't think I've had the best golf this week. A lot of terrible iron shots has been the real one. Obviously 17 there was the proof in the pudding. So work to do. I need to get down to +3, +4 to see that I'd be competing in these North Region comps. But I hope you've enjoyed those 3 rounds there, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out La Cala as well. Thank you for having us down here and giving us a bit of sunshine in December. And we'll see you in another video very soon. Check out one here where I'm trying to break 50 with Peter Finch.